Wow.
For Ronald Jones, that's a great
Going
start.
in, huh?
Brady is taken down. Khalil Mack. After the longest run of the season against this Bears defense, Khalil Mack steps up and gets a sack.
Yeah, against the rookie, Tristan Wirfs, and he's able to work around him one-on-one. I mean, he's had his hands full here to start his career.
That never gets old.
That was our Super Bowl moment last season.
Yeah, that was like the best moment of the whole season. Can Khalil Mack still do that now that he's like got his girl pregnant and he's taking glamour shots and shit? Is that still gonna work? What's going on? We got a little product placement. We got a little tasting. We're gonna do a tasting, guys. What are we tasting? We're gonna taste some seltzers.
It's actually a Blanco Terramana tequila. Let's I can smell the 100% blue agave.
Oh, out the bottle like a boss. Oh, who do you think you are? The Rock? You're drinking the Rock's tequila?
No, I'll tell you what though. I really noticed the notes of bright citrus.
Oh,
with a smooth finish.
Nice.
Good tasting, guys. Wow, that was really fun.
All right,
nice job. Tune in next week for more tasting.
Taste it.
We'll make a top 5 list about it.
You should. We could have a vote.
We could have a
cereals. What else do we want to do?
Oh,
what's up, everybody? Welcome back for another episode of the Tailgate Show. It's Double A. It's Air Jer. It's B Diddy B Quinn 34. What's up? Shout out to all the haters. Fuck y'all. I mean it.
The thing is, they actually consider that Bears Twitter beef. Like,
Jer went Robo Jer. I might go Robo too. It happens. Yeah. Anyway, so fuck all that. We'll get to that later.
Yeah. A little shade tonight.
Yeah, a little shade. So what's up? What's the scoop? What's the skinny? What's happening? What's out there in the world? It's been a minute. Memorial Day. Remember people that gave the ultimate sacrifice. I feel weird saying Happy Memorial Day. I just say remember. You know what I mean? Like it's not really. It's not like a happy holiday, in my opinion.
No, I get that, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, it always takes me back to my grandfather. He's a World War II guy, POW. He's long since been gone, but it just these days, like today, just kind of brings you back to those people that you knew that you were close with.
For sure, man. So like I said, it has been a minute. Things are churning away. Few people on Bears Twitter forgot that they moved the OTAs back to after Memorial Day weekend, which is cool, because some teams did theirs already. Like you had the Packers with their OTAs, and basically none of their starting receivers showed up, and Jordan Love is looking supposedly a little bit better, but like he was a third string quarterback. So what does that even mean? And so some teams did have theirs, but the Bears pushed theirs back. So that just gives more time for Eddie Jackson to be out posing in front of cars and boats, and gives more time for Allen Robinson to get into beef with people on Twitter and make stupid basketball tweets and be a bitch. So, beat goes on.
People really care about that, huh?
It's Twitter, so yeah, in that way, people get all up in their feelings.
Is Twitter safe zone?
Twitter safe?
Nah.
Is Twitter a safe zone? I don't
think so. I think it's fair game. Fair game indeed. But yeah, so people are talking about who's going to be the starter. Jeremy Fowler said all of nothing today, and Bears Twitter went all a flurry, saying that now it means that Justin Fields is officially in a competition, which is not what Fowler said. He basically just said the same shit we already knew, which is that if Fields looks great, he's going to be in the mix. Like, no shit. No fucking shit. But, Bears.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately,
Yeah.
I do agree with what you've been saying the whole time. Like in the fanatic in me, of course, I want Fields to start, but there's a lot of things that they need to see work out in order to let Fields start with potentially 2 new tackles, a first-time defensive coordinator. We might need a steady veteran in Dalton just to test out the other pieces and make sure things are ready for him to come in. I think you're probably right. That's what we're going to see. We're going to see Dalton the first 2 games, but I just want to see Fields selfishly because I'm just so excited we have him. But common sense right now is it's more leaning towards Dalton, especially with potentially a rookie starting a left tackle. You need to make sure he's comfortable before you put the franchise in.
They're now spending $16 million on, insurance, like weird insurance, like weird kind of crappy insurance, but
better than the Glennon policy.
For sure. But it's not Mark Sanchez or, whatever. But I just think Nagy told us the dude's got a lot of little things he has to learn. And I think he's going to learn them. I think he's going to tear it up at them. But I just think I'm still, you have to convince me that he's going to get half of the starting reps. If he gets half of the first team reps, then I'll say, okay, sure, he's got a shot. But I just feel like Dalton is going to come out the gate taking all of the first team reps. I don't know what chance he'll have.
I think in a perfect world, if you were able to give both the first team reps, I think Fields would definitely beat him out talent wise, but I just don't know. Desai being a first time, like I said, defensive coordinator, that's a huge question mark, right? The tackle spots are still a big question mark. Even if Fields is he's there, we just need to make sure that the protection is there too. That's the big. You might want to run that out once or twice.
If I'm Daz Newsome and Khalil Herbert and stuff, I'm actually happy if Fields is taking reps with the second unit, because that means he's going to be making plays to me. You know what I mean? Like if I'm one of those guys, because if he goes up to the first unit and then they stop watching. Like if Dalton becomes the number 2 and Fields becomes, moves up to the number 1, all they're going to watch is Fields. Dalton's not getting watched anymore. With Fields being in the second unit, all eyes are still going to be on him with the second unit. So it's good for those guys. I'm pissed if I'm the starting receivers, you don't get Fields. I don't know. I think it's much ado about nothing to some degree. I just think Dalton's going to absolutely have to look like crap in order for Fields to get the first team reps. What do you think, Jer?
I agree. I mean, Dalton has the power to keep him on the bench as long as he possibly can, but the inevitable is that he's going to supplant Dalton at some point. The question is when.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's not if. I mean, that's
Right.
I think once again you're kind of looking at the Bears a lot of times end up trying to work 2 plans into each other. Dalton was never part of a plan that included Fields.
Right.
Dalton was the we have the 20th pick. There's a chance we can't draft a quarterback. There's a chance we might not have a quarterback. We can't stick with Mitch. Fuck it, Laser. Dalton, right? Yeah, cool. Let's get him. How much? 10 mil? Okay, fine. And then all the other shit happened. It's not like the 2 things were attached.
And unlike Green Bay, where they didn't call their longtime quarterback to tell them, hey, we're going to take a quarterback. We called our short-term quarterback and said, hey, we have to make this play.
Yeah. Speaking of Green Bay, man, like really what we did in the draft fucked with their head because they were probably ready to freaking call Rodgers and hold this off as long as possible, right? We get Fields. Now you let Rodgers go, you know what's coming. You know we're about to take the division over.
All right, well, speaking of Rodgers,
you need to hold on to him. And that changed that dynamic, man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, after all that Rodgers said on Kenny Mayne, which I think we talked about, right?
I don't think we did.
Did we not talk about Rodgers going on Kenny Mayne?
No, we didn't go last week.
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, I'm sure everybody saw it. I mean, literally everyone I felt like was watching it. It was like SportsCenter was an event. Like,
I heard fuck you, Aaron Rodgers. I like that.
yeah, fuck off, Aaron Rodgers. But like, our guy Dusty and I think Packers fans were ready. Like, I think they were ready for a bomb to drop. Like, because it was like, wait, Rodgers is going to be on SportsCenter, and I don't think a lot of people put together that it was Kenny Mayne's last show. They did, but they weren't thinking that.
Well, he was in Hawaii, so they're probably shook.
Yeah, people were ready. So then, like, so he, he's not saying anything. He's just, reminiscing. And I had forgot all this shit that Kenny Mayne did with Aaron Rodgers. Like, for some reason, I just blocked that stuff out. Like, just out of pure Aaron Rodgers hate. Like, I just, and I was like, oh shit. Like, he did a lot of stuff with Kenny Mayne. That's pretty cool. Whatever. Rodgers just, kind of become more likable off the field. But,
I don't think so.
He leaves Green Bay. He'll be way more likable.
Well, but he just went. I mean, he kind of went scorched earth in a very like chill, like kind of mellow sort of way, and basically was like, yeah, everything's fine. And he listed off basically everything but the GM, and he talks about how we just need to remember that it's about the people. And I mean, I think the shit that came out where like he's talking about being pissed about Jordy Nelson and that other receiver, I can't even remember his name. That they cut.
Jennings?
Huh?
Was it Greg Jennings?
No. It's much more recent, and it was like a much lesser guy that they cut. That he was pissed about. It was after fucking what's his face. Anyway, he's just that shit is like.
Are you talking about Kumaro?
Yeah, Jake Kumaro. Yes, like shit is like that petty. Like he basically just wants to be consultant on some shit, and they just don't even see that at all. And then essentially, like they thought his skills were declining, and they made a backup plan. And he didn't like it, but he even said, "I don't have a problem with the pick. I like Jordan Love. Like he's a good kid. I love my teammates. I love my coaches. Like I love everybody except Gutekunst." Essentially is what he said. And I just think like they're not trading him.
No.
I think they're going to make him,
or he's sitting.
They're going to make him retire. Sources.
We'll say that for later.
The thing that I think really is that cooler heads are going to prevail because that Rodgers is doing this so long that come time in August, July, late July, his body's going to be like, you need to be playing football. And he's going to feel that pull and he's going to come back and they'll fucking do whatever he says. Like, because they're going to have been watching Jordan Love at practice. And I guarantee you, dude is not going to be tearing it up. He may end up being good at some point, but
I don't give a shit. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, for sure. Like I love them having some, quarterback unrest. I mean, they've been so fucking spoiled. Like, get out of here. Like, it's just funny to see them, twist a little bit. Like, this is our life, dude. Like, we live in this hell, quarterback hell. Welcome to a little tiny snippet.
Oh, we can be decent though without a quarterback. Like they can't.
No, but how would we ever know that? Like,
nah,
like we don't know that. Like, I mean, they haven't been anyway. At least, I don't know. That's a pretty fucking thin sheet of ice to stand on. That we can be decent without a quarterback.
We've made the playoffs for that one.
I know, but yeah,
a couple
times. They've always had one, and they've been on. I mean, even Rodgers said, like, he's like, I have so much respect for the runs, that these, that Favre and Reggie White and those guys made, and blah blah blah. I mean, the Packers have been the class of the division for the whole Favre Rodgers era.
Yeah, fuck them. Anyway,
but I agree, fuck them forever. But just saying, I don't know. So we got fucking people reporting. We'll see what happens. You think everybody's coming back?
Oh, for OTAs?
To OTAs? I think A-Rob's going to sit out.
I think he'll wait as long as he can.
Yeah, because he's.
I don't see how he can be salty with how early he signed. If he was going to sit out, he wouldn't have signed yet. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what the cutoff is on signing the franchise, but I think he would have waited to the deadline.
No, he grabbed onto that franchise tag for dear life when that shit was going down. Like dudes were signing for not great deals.
I don't think Forte signed. Forte, I don't believe, correct me if I'm wrong, he didn't sign when he held out. Like that's usually the move. Like if you sign that early, holding out just is dumb because hopefully they can work something out, but
I just don't. I don't think an extension is coming this year. I don't know what happens next year.
I don't know.
I mean, it's just it's clear that it's just a weird relationship. Like,
oh sure, but nothing's better for a young quarterback than to have a reliable target. I mean that.
Of course, like, and I think I don't think Allen Robinson's going to sit out or anything weird. Like, I think he's gonna do what he's always done. He's gonna do the same shit he's always done, and he'll be fine. But right now, like, he just,
we have a tendency to do that too. Like, I wish Alshon would have been here for, I hate to say his name, but Mitch when he first started because he was a reliable target.
Yeah, just not staying on the field, but when he was on the field, he was reliable.
Unfortunately, just not in a position to. Mooney's not ready to be number one, in my opinion.
No, he's not.
No,
we don't have that guy yet.
I just don't like if you take Mooney, if you took A-Rob off the team, like there's nobody that scares you that much.
Unless Miller somehow pulls something out of his butt this year. Because
like the part of the reason that Mooney is able to do what he's done is because A-Rob gets so much attention. Like, come on. Like let's not get it really twisted. So, he'd be a huge loss for sure. I mean, look, dude is a great receiver, but he just unfortunately, like, we all went on this extend A-Rob hashtag extend A-Rob, campaign, and he's just he's just kind of unlikable in the way he, it's just social media and whatever. I'm sure
I don't really
dude.
Personally, like I know we have this like standard and like we've complained before because the team has this culture, right? And like whatever. I don't really care how he is on social media if he's good to his teammates and he's good to his team.
Right. For sure.
He seems like he's a professional that way, man. So I don't.
Absolutely.
The dude produces.
Right. And he doesn't have to be,
I don't need hugs. You know what I mean?
No, I don't either. I just feel like he just plays a lot of games with social media. And that's fine. He's within his rights to do that. But then I feel like
that's what people would like to be played with. Like I don't really care.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just saying. I think he gets in his feelings, and it's not always a good look for him. But I can't talk shit. Like I just feel like if I had
imagine if you were a professional athlete and people were coming at you on Twitter.
Oh, it would be a wrap. Like I'd have to have my phone taken away. Like I couldn't even they'd have to give me a phone that had no apps. Like that was just a text machine. Like like it would be. I would have accounts suspended and shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
right. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I get it. But I still think like he's doing it for a reason. The thing is, it's a double. The thing is, for these guys, it's a double-edged sword. They can make money off social media, right? Yeah. They can move the needle on shit with social media.
Sure,
they can move the needle in all sorts of different ways for their own team, for other teams, for politics, for all sorts of things. They have this power.
Oh, sure,
but it comes with a fucking.
But how much of the fan base do you think actually pays attention to Twitter?
Oh, maybe 30 to 40%.
Exactly. Yeah. So, like,
maybe 50. I mean, there's a lot of people that pay attention to it on the periphery,
right?
But I don't think And the thing is that like every radio station talks about Twitter.
They do,
right?
Like who got me on Twitter is fucking Michael Rappaport. Like I started listening to his podcast and he started talking about getting into Twitter beefs with people. And I had a Twitter, but I never used it. I had a Twitter since 2009, but I really never used it. And then that was when I got into it was probably like, maybe 6-7 years ago, maybe 8, something like that.
It's like a big chat room with the world, and there's no filter.
Yeah, right. I mean, it was fucking Wild West back then, dude. We were like,
even Bears sort of used to be. That's
savagery going on, like back in 2015, 16, earlier.
Well, that's when Mr. Wankster boy today tried to say that there was a Twitter people like, you have no clue. Like I'm giving you like, bro, like I'm giving you like a buy one get one discount, bro. Like,
yo, some homer from Minnesota is like, why are Bears Twitter attacking each other? What's happening? Why do they do this to each other? And I'm like, attacking?
I just happened to log on yesterday. I didn't even know what was going on. I'm like, what the fuck? I just put like one comment in it. It was just that wasn't a beef, bro. That was like no effort, no skin off my teeth.
Yeah, that's light work, man. Like that was just a joke that apparently I hit the target.
Well, we used to joke. We used to joke with him when he was a car salesman for the other network.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
We used to joke. We haven't changed what we do.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
Go ahead, Jim.
You can put wild shit out there, and then you get called out on it, and then you play the victim.
Yeah.
Yes. That's just ridiculous.
We used to bust his stones all the time.
Like the Twitter thing says, cry about it.
Yeah, cry about it. Exactly. Like,
here's
bro,
the thing.
It's like you were all cool when you thought you were like down with the people who talk shit. You know what I mean? Like, it was all brawl this, brawl that. We love how you do your shit. Like you guys.
The minute somebody wanted to brawl.
Yeah, like
it's like
like that was the softest, most moist shit ever. Like fucking.
It was like
everybody's like, brawl, and then we would get people like blocking us on our own fucking network. That Packer dipshit blocked us, like crying to the fucking, to fucking Brez. Like they're mean to me. It's like it's a fucking brawl. We're supposed to be brawling. You dumb fucks.
I got DMs from that Packer dude saying I was giving him flashbacks of like earlier abuse in his life. I'm like, what?
Oh my god, we went up in their kitchen, bro, and like just shut the place up, and they were like, like fucking crying, dude. Like,
the whole thing was we were trying to spark that so we would do cross shows, right?
So it would be brawl. I mean, we made the Detroit Lions brawl cry, like, bro, like all of them couldn't fucking hang, like. All of them were like, like right after the shit would start.
Oh, before that, we were in a bar that the bouncers couldn't handle us.
Yeah, bro. Like, just like we've been doing this shit the whole fucking time. People are like, "Oh, the tailgate show's become a trolling account. They're disappointing." Oh my god, it's like motherfuckers. We've been the same since Jump Street. Like, I don't know what you thought. Like, you say dumb shit, we're gonna call you out for it. Like, that's just
not personal. It's professional.
Yes, right. Like, it's you should thank us for fucking letting you know that you're just trash.
Like, stop being Adam Schefter, bro.
Bro, like, what are you doing? That's just what I want to know. Like, what is the fucking idea? Like,
yeah, like go hand out some Bose headphones with your boy Prince.
Yeah, like we're mean, right? We're fucking mean. Like, stop being a clown ass. And anyway, we're fucking mean. Yeah, we are mean because you're stupid and you need your shit called out. Like,
once in a while, man. Like, you're not a bad.
I mean, dude I've had him muted. I've had that dude muted for months, bro. And the shit still shows up on my timeline. I have him muted from multiple accounts, dude. And it still is corny shit still shows up on my timeline. But whatever. I don't unfollow because, like, whatever. And it's like, here's the shit. And I'm just like, oh, let me just fucking fire off this little joke. You know what I mean? Like,
and all of a sudden, we're
and then it's like, oh, you're mean. Why is everyone so mean to me? It's like, because you pop off, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're a clout chasing fucking dork, bro. Like, come on. Like, everybody just sees Like that dude is just so transparent. Like everybody sees through your bullshit. Like nobody's buying the fucking beer reviews or any of that shit.
At the same time, man, like punch up. Like I was like, we shouldn't be bothering with this shit. It's like,
yeah, I guess, but like I was just getting off a joke. Like I thought it was just a joke, but then he wanted to cry. It's like, sorry, you're fucking pure. I'm not part of a network. I'm not a fake insider. Yeah, so what are you then? Shut up. Like, just do your fucking podcast.
Yeah, but then you try going there, bro. Well, you guys knew who. It's like we left before all that shit hit the fan, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
Like, right? Like,
reached out to you just to change the handle on Spreaker. That wasn't when we left, bro. Like,
it's just corny as hell. I mean, you're right. Why the fuck are we wasting our time with?
Well, the thing that kills me.
I agree, but it's just like time was when you could pop off a joke, somebody being corny, and it was all good. Like now it's like everybody like just stop trying to act like you're fucking serious if you're not.
Well,
like you're not.
All these people are like, "Oh, Bears Twitter going at it again." This isn't that. Like, this is just some dude that it's almost like the young boy that flew out of the nest and he thinks he's like his balls have dropped. Like, just back off. Like, I told him, like, you really want to go here? Like, come on, man.
Nah, he doesn't. What a beef that was. Boy, I literally had the beef. I had my beef dipped. Huh?
He'll dress you up in an outfit and walk you around on a leash.
Like, just stop. Like, nobody has fucking sources. You're not a fucking analyst. You don't have a network. Pow, pow, pow. Cut the shit. Just stop.
We're all doing the same shit. And you
right. Like, it's for fucking fun. Like, if you're, okay, cool. You got Manscaped to send you 3 cents every fucking episode. Like, dope. You're an official Fanatics fucking podcast, are you? It's like, it's like I have one of those fucking like honey accounts where like you go around and search shopping on the internet. I'll make more money off of that shit. Like, come on.
What's that?
Like, you act like you're fucking crypto mining over here. Like, it's like, oh, you got a promo code, right? What was that shit that they could never get a promo code for? It was like you had to log in through the Russian login.
Yeah, Fanatics.
Yeah, like originally they were like, we're partnered with Fanatics. And it was like, here's this fucking like Russian cosmonaut internet interface.
He's like, can you read this off? It's HTTP.
Yeah,
Fanatics.
Can't send a link. No, I can't send a link. It's like what? It's like it's not even HTTPS. It's like just regular HTTP. It's like fucking. You go on there and it's like when you're trying to go on one of those crack streams and watch UFC or something stupid. It's like 40 pop-ups. What the fuck?
Oh, nice.
Trubisky's in the house says, I reached out to Calabash Seafood to sponsor you all. No word back yet.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah, when he says reached out, that means he went in there and drank 3 pitchers of beer and started throwing fried shrimp at people.
Well, that's the thing.
And then was like, oh, by the way, my boy's got a podcast. You should, sir, you have to leave. What?
I would try to get Jay Cutler's meat company there as a sponsor. But if they saw Trubisky's cooking that shit, we'd be in trouble.
Shout out to Jay, I guess. But I think he's back with the anti-vax crazy. But
did you see those tomahawk steaks that Waddle and Sylvie held up, though?
Yes, it's fucking Pat LaFrida. Like, it's not Jay Cutler. He doesn't. He's just.
I don't care. I'm just saying that they look like delicious.
No, it's Pat LaFrida's quality products. Don't get me wrong. It's quality meats. It just has nothing to fucking do with Jay. It's just it's a partnership. It's like a brand partnership.
Yeah, but do you want to taste Cuddy's meat though?
All right, that's our show. Thanks so much. Thanks for listening. Shout out to the haters. No, I don't want to. I mean, there's a lot of Bears Twitter that would. Our boy Buff Llama. Shout out to Llama. I'm sure he already got that. He's all up in that box. I mean, people are doing fucking, reviews of the shit. I mean, whatever. Pat LaFrida, it's good meat. He's just, there was a time when he was like going to try to have his own butcher shop, and maybe this is a step towards that. Like
Jay, I've always liked Jay's personality, man.
For sure. I mean, people were flipping out about what he said, and I think what he said was on point. I mean, he said, basically like, let the kids sit. There's a lot to learn, and I think the biggest thing is that there's a lot to learn, especially if you're not getting the first team reps. I mean, he talked about it.
I mean, Jay got him, and he still had a lot to learn.
Yes, I mean, how many he threw like 25 picks in his first season as a Bear. It was like 27 interceptions and 27 touchdowns and 25 picks or something ridiculous. Like, I mean, it was rough. Right. It was rough, and he knows it. I mean, yeah, he got jerked around with no offensive line and changing offensive coordinators, but yeah, he would have liked to. He would, in hindsight, he would have rather have sat. But I bet you that if you told Jay Cutler that in the moment, he'd be like, "Fuck off." I didn't get traded here to sit.
That's the sound. That's the sound now.
Yeah, he can say that now. But back in the day, if you told him, "Oh no, we want you to sit," I mean, who was he gonna? Who was the quarterback when he got here?
Was it? No, not Jay.
No, who was the Bears quarterback when the Bears traded for Cutler?
Orton.
Right, yeah. And they traded Orton to Denver. But then who was on the roster?
Jay wasn't gonna sit here.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's just funny to me that Jay was like, I wish I had the chance to sit.
He did sit his rookie year.
Right, but
for a couple games.
Right.
Why
right.
he
was Plummer. He talked about Plummer being
he was an all-pro quarterback when he got here. He wasn't sitting for anybody.
He wasn't all-pro. He's a pro.
Yes, he was.
He was not all-pro. Okay. He was a pro bowler. And he was like a replacement.
Why would you sit a pro bowler?
I mean, it's fucking replacement level Pro Bowler. Like, I'm just saying.
I had him on my fantasy team that year. He was in Denver, dude. He was fucking lighting it up.
He's all right. I mean, listen, I was excited when they got him. Don't get me wrong.
That year in Denver he was nasty.
Then he went to Chicago.
But he talked about the importance of sitting and Plummer, helping him out. Like, and it was like, well, what can Andy Dalton help Fields out with? Well, Nagy told us, like,
sure.
Fields is not used to calling the plays in the huddle. Like, they don't do that in college. Most teams don't do it. That's the one thing. And you mentioned this, Diddy, that teams were, I think, most hyped about Trey Lance is that Trey Lance was doing that shit.
Sure.
Trey Lance was calling plays in the huddle and changing plays himself. He was actually doing that in games
at a much lower level, but yes.
Yes, but still, they're running a pretty pro style offense. We've talked about this. You brought it up. I'm not. You get.
Oh no
credit for that.
Yeah. But the thing with like the comparison.
Not doing that.
I'm saying Jay came from Vanderbilt where shit was dysfunctional too. Like Vanderbilt,
right.
There was more of an adjustment there. Like Fields played a big time program, big time moments. There are differences, but
and he admitted that, and they asked him, like, what do you think about the pressure? And he's like, he doesn't think the pressure's going to get to him, even though it is real, because of Ohio State. I mean, he said, it's certainly different than fucking Vanderbilt and Denver. Yeah. So I just here's the thing is I don't know what the upside is.
Fields 22 years old. Like the history of our quarterback problems don't really he probably really doesn't give a shit.
No, he doesn't care. He just wants to go out there and play. Like I think he's is he ready? Sure, but could they wait? Sure. Like I'm not going to be that crushed if he doesn't start week one.
The flip side to my argument with having an inexperienced potentially left tackle, like Fields is also going to make it easier on the offensive line than Dalton. There's the aspect of his game. It's
sometimes.
We'll see what happens, man. It's going to be an interesting storyline. At least we're going to get some football coverage this week.
I guess there's also part of me that kind of wants to prolong the anticipation a little bit more, just because I do as a Bears fan, just because I'm always fearing disaster. I can just see something terrible happening week one, and it's I just don't I don't want to live under that national microscope, of him being announced as the starter. As excited as I would be, I just feel like it's not a great place. It's not a good first game to start in. Like on the road, Sunday night against the Rams.
Donald wasn't like, I mean, yes, he is a beast, right? But like he hits the quarterback maybe 1.7 times a game.
I'm not worried about him getting hit
Like-
per se. I think the Rams defense is good. I think Jalen Ramsey's good, and he's gonna be all frothy after the Bears fans got in his head. And
Oh yeah, definitely.
like, I just don't think it's necessary. I don't know. I mean, if he looks amazing, fuck yeah, I guess. But I'm just telling you that I'm gonna be like, part of my half of my stomach is gonna be in a fucking knot.
I'll be excited as hell.
I'll also be excited, but I'm gonna be nervous as hell.
Yeah, but we need the preseason games too. If we start seeing something, and we're gonna all know too. Like will know.
Right. Absolutely. Like, and I hope I hope Nagy doesn't like all of a sudden revert to, because he was ready to play players in the preseason.
Right. You pray he's gonna renege on that and go back.
There's literally no way that
he has to.
Foles wouldn't, and Mitch would not have won the job. We've said this before, but if there had been preseason and they had both played in preseason, Foles would have won the job, I think.
I think like a guy like A-Rob could sit out preseason games, but like with the battles going on at our wide receiver position, our offensive line, our defense with the first-time coordinator that our players have to get used to, you got to play that.
You got Jenkins switching to the left tackle. Like, you got to have reps. Like, I think that lack of preseason reps has killed the offensive line every season Nagy's been here.
Yeah,
they just don't get that many reps.
The thing too is, man, like I was going through, like, just going back and looking at our draft. Like, we got the two of the toughest offensive linemen in this fucking draft. I'm not going into technique or anything, but straight out toughness. Like I think those are guys Castillo wants. But these two dudes are probably two of the more aggressive tackles in this draft, in my opinion.
Right. Well, I mean, they hear what people are saying. I mean, they heard the Chris Long shit, basically talking about how, we lack the toughness. I mean,
18.
That doesn't mean it's going to translate into great.
No.
They're tough. They're tough physical dudes, though.
Jay Cutler was tough. You see how far he got us to an NFC title game, but
Webb was soft as shit back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that's going to be good. He's still a rookie. I mean, but to me, he's a first round level talent. I mean, I saw somebody saying, it doesn't bode well starting a second round pick, right out of the gate. It's like, okay, but he's not. Like, he's a first round grade. Everybody had him as a first round grade.
We did that with Whitehair.
Right. Like, it's just, I think it's being overblown. Yeah, like, I think it's being overblown, him starting being this huge fucking deal. Like, I think if they had drafted him at number 20, everybody would expect him to be the day one starter. It wouldn't even be a question. But because they drafted him at 37 or whatever and we got lucky, like, all of a sudden it's this, oh, you can't do that. What? Like, if he was drafted at 20, it'd be a foregone conclusion.
The only question I ever had with the kid was flipping from right to left, because it is different.
For sure.
Different, but otherwise, everything that I've seen on him, he's great at the point of attack. He wins a lot. He's got a nasty streak.
I expect him to start it right and then eventually get over there.
Yeah, I don't think anybody anticipated him to get straight to left. But when you cut Leno to save money, that's what happens,
Yeah, well, that's going to happen officially tomorrow. So tomorrow that money officially comes off the books.
Actually,
they can maybe do some things. Yeah, right.
Midnight.
Well, it's only 11 here. But in a stone's throw from Hallis Hall.
You should have breaking news. Breaking news.
Breaking news.
About to be signed.
Yeah.
Yeah, breaking news.
Being such a fucking dork. Breaking news. Dun, 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 dun.
So what's up with the whole renovation thing? I saw the tweet. I gather that, but
It's like,
what was the deal with that?
Albert Breer's new shit is to like say weird stuff and act like I didn't know anything about that. Like he's been doing that a lot lately, and so he tweeted something out about how the league is going to discuss stadium issues with the Bears.
There's
And I
plenty.
was like, what? It's Arlington, and then of course that started spinning out. It's like all these people are like, what? Had no idea about that. So that argument started kicking off and dusting up like it has before. But essentially, like, from what I understand, it was like some continuation of the video board upgrades, like that started a while back and suck. Like they spent like $1 million or more on fucking terrible video boards. Yes. Like it's another fucking thing about that stadium that sucks is that because of the way they had to design it, if there's nowhere to put the fucking video boards. Like you have one big stupid bank of luxury boxes. You have a huge steep upper deck on the other side.
Those luxury boxes are sick though.
Yeah, they are until the sun's blasting right in your face, like because they're facing the wrong fucking direction. I don't know. I just like the the video boards are trash. I remember we went in that fucking room,
the control room
on the tour. We went in that room and it's like the control room, and it looks like fucking Sports Center in there. Nobody touch anything, like the doughboy. Nobody touch nothing, all right? Like, we're in the fancy room with all the knobs. Nobody touch anything, okay?
I'm a firefighter by day, but I'm a tour guide by night.
Yeah, and it's like, don't touch anything. I had a beef, and I dripped on it the other week, and it was a disaster. Like, all this shit.
It was cool. It was a cool tour, though.
I'd be like, you spent all this fucking money, and you still have the worst all-22 angle. Like, in all of football, like, everybody clowns the Bears and how fucking terrible the all-22 angle is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm like, it's just, it's typical Bears. Like, you go there and the fucking seats are faded. Like, it's just such a whatever stadium. Like, and I'm sorry, but other than the colonnade, which is cool, the columns are cool as shit, all the rest of the soldier aspect of it is totally fucking contrived.
And the artwork on the outside needs to be updated too, because it's sun faded and destroyed.
It's just not a great stadium. Like I'm sorry, like it's just not a fucking great stadium. It was actually cooler when it was the old Soldier Field, because then it felt.
It's different for you living out there, man. Me touring it for the first time, I thought it was dope as hell.
Oh, I enjoyed the tour. Don't get me wrong, but I just felt like it was janky. Like it's janky to walk into a stadium and be like, oh, that's all the unusable space because of design. They had to shove a bad design inside an old fucking colonnade.
I guess maybe it's different for me because I like the history of things, and like you feel like you're walking into like a old school Coliseum or something with the pillars, and it's kind of
you did when it was Old Soldier for sure.
Old Soldier
even walking in at first, you're just like it has that vibe to it.
But it was also shitty. I mean, the seats were uncomfortable.
You
were knees to elbows with everybody. There's no.
But it felt like a college game.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, I don't know. I only went to that one game in Old Soldier, but I've talked about it a million times. It was the Jaguars game with the Keith Trailer return. Right. And that's still one of the most exciting, feelings I've ever had in a stadium. And we were all, like, the whole place was literally rocking. Like, everyone was just like, oh, my fucking God. Like, jackets. People were tearing off their jackets and throwing them into the air. Like, it was fucking bedlam. Like, that was, like, seeing that fat guy return that ball, Chicago was just frothing at the mouth. Like, we were just like, what the fuck? Like, we were punching each other. I was punching people. Like, it was crazy. Like, we were just going ape shit. And it was because of that big, we were all just one big raucous body of humans. Yeah, but like, all touching.
The point I'm going to make about the space that Soldiers has, it's just, man, when you go to places like US Bank Stadium, like Kansas City, go there and you go to even Indianapolis, state of the art stadiums, comfortable, everything's easily accessible. It's like, why can't we do this in Chicago again?
And Arrowhead's not new. Like, if Arrowhead's fucking way better than us, that's whack.
Oh yeah, Arrowhead. It is loud as hell. Easily the loudest stadium I've ever been in. Easily. Right. It's like, what are we doing?
We got fucking, we got the bear raid siren.
Thank God for that, I guess.
I know it's like people don't want to hear it. They want to, they want to believe the fucking Soldier Field mythology. That's cool. It's all cool. The fact of the matter is we ain't getting a new stadium forever. Like, even if something were to,
the rumors of the team for sale. I don't know how. It's an interesting storyline.
It's you know what that is. In my opinion, it's the smaller shareholders who are starting to poke around and see what they can get, because they don't want to wait until Virginia kicks, because it's going to be a scrum.
Like, what's up, Jeff Bezos? How you doing?
Yeah, just like maybe, hey, we push some things together, and then all of a sudden Bezos or somebody becomes like a 20, like a Pat Ryan level, and then if Pat Ryan decides to sell his shares. And then the other random family members, who probably hate each other, I mean, I don't know if there's no more Hallises. They fucked the actual Hallises out of the team. So, but apparently there's no, there's some McCaskey kids out there, or kids of kids, or whatever the fuck they would like to get rid of there.
So Bezos will come in and tell the city, here's your debt. I'm gonna go build this stadium.
Right. Well, that's what it would take. Somebody's gonna have to buy the city out of the what they're owed, and what they owe on the on the renovation that already happened. And I don't know if it should be Arlington Heights. If they could fucking
they could turn Soldier Field into like the drone headquarters for Amazon drones that deliver.
Yeah, right. I mean, there's still fine shit to do with Soldier Field. But I mean, the most ideal thing would be for it to be somewhere else on the lakefront. Better chance of Abe Froman owning the team than prying from the McCaskies.
Sausage King.
I mean, he is the Sausage King.
He's the Sausage King of Chicago.
Yeah.
Hey, if my Doge blows up, I might buy it.
Yeah, exactly. This is Sergeant Peterson here. Sergeant Peterson.
Classic. And Mr. T got his shot there.
Huh?
Mr. T got his shot right in that movie.
That's true.
I'll take a state-of-the-art stadium in Arlington Heights, though.
Yeah, with easy on like Kansas City and easy out like Kansas City. Yeah, I'd be fucking for it.
Yeah,
all the parking you want.
Oh my God! Like, what if the tailgate people could actually tailgate at the stadium? I mean, do people understand that the most important tailgate of all of the Bears fans has to tailgate 2 miles away under the fucking train tracks because the parking lot situation is such a crock of shit? Like, I mean, come on. It's just ridiculous. There's a reason why the New York Giants play in New Jersey. Okay,
yeah, it's a great tailgate scene there.
Yeah, and it isn't that big of a fucking deal. Nobody gets all butthurt about it.
Buffalo,
because you're
man.
at the game. Like, you're not there to see a fucking the field museum. You're not there to fucking go, ride a pedicab around the loop or fucking see the skyline. You're there for the Bears.
Even in Orchard Park, where the Bills play, it's just it's a town that they just rent out the lots. It's just like a college atmosphere. It's freaking dope.
Right. Like, fucking the Bears Stadium, it's like, oh, let's just cram ourselves, through this weird ass tunnel, this weird ramp. Like, that fucking ramp going up into that place to get in the game is
shit. Bear down. Yeah, he was in Buffalo. I was at that game, bro.
Trubisky's was at the game. Oh, yeah, you guys were both at the same game. Yeah, he could have had Nikki's ticket.
Could have had a ticket, bro.
Brian sat next to nobody at that game.
I sat next to my brother, not really nobody, but.
Your brother ended up taking the ticket?
I went with my brother.
I know, but didn't Nikki's
Wait,
seat
I had
go
one
empty?
extra, yeah, I want his seat did, yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right. Like you sat next to nobody because he wasn't there because he didn't fucking take his ticket that
Yeah,
you paid for.
we get all messed up when we join networks.
What? Trubisky says I sat next to Jordan Poyer's family. Oh, really?
Oh.
Ah.
Did you
That
sit next
sounds-
to that badunkadunk?
Yeah, he sat next to Dad Ass.
Mm,
Tatao.
my goodness.
got Jordan in trouble on Instagram.
Legit.
It's like, so they're like, the gravy.
Yeah,
No biscuits.
Yeah, he probably thought about burning that.
He's like, let me put my biscuits on the gravy.
Yeah.
Legit. So, yeah, so I know Trubisky is like a big fucking Soldier Field advocate. I don't even know if he's been to Soldier Field. But, like, you know, it's just like you see
He's
the
been a new
columns.
soldier. He's not
You
been
see
the
the-
old soldier.
Right. He's old soldier.
They could do something with the new stadium to still pay like homage to the columns if
They
they
can
really
do whatever
wanted
they
to.
fucking want. I mean, like, you know, people used to get all up in their feelings about the colonnade at Old Yankee Stadium. Like, that place was a dump. Like, it was a fucking dump.
Yeah.
Like, come on. No roof, no, not gonna have a dolphin swimming pool. You know the Bears would never have that shit. It's not gonna be Bank One, you know, Arizona
it'll be a
Diamondbacks.
Bear cage.
Yeah,
We'll
like
throw
yeah,
cheese in
right.
it.
Yeah, like they're gonna have like a, you know, it's like they're gonna have a fucking petting zoo. I don't know, like whatever they would have would be sick. You know, they fucking have something ridiculous. They're good at that shit. They're great at building football museums.
Yeah, at least
You see Howard's
retractable.
Hall? Everybody
Retractable.
goes like everybody that signs is in that hallway, like staring at pictures of the dope ass lighting, like all. Like their Bears are fucking phenomenal at doing that shit. They'll make a stadium that'll be like insane. People want amenities. Yeah, you're there to watch the game, but like you have to get people to want to leave their homes. You know,
Yep.
like everybody has a fucking man cave now. Fuck a video board. Come on, man, you're tripping. like, come on. Like in football, you need a video board more than any other sport because there's so many, especially at a nationally televised game. There's so many breaks in the action. They're like that's what people don't realize when you go to a game that's nationally televised. Those dudes have so much downtime.
Yep.
Every fucking first down, it's like, oh, water, you know, fucking take my helmet off, shine it up, tie my shoe, you know, like there's so much time in between, you know, down series.
Yep.
Like, you need a video board. And also you need a video board because your fucking phone never works in the stadiums.
Right.
Because you're in like a giant like radiation field.
It needs to be an immersive experience, man. Because there, like you said, there's a lot of downtime when you're live.
You know, like, and when all these Bears fans go to that Raiders stadium, their tune is going to absolutely change. They're gonna be like, "Give us this in blue and orange, please." Like, we will take one in blue and orange. Please sign us up. We are down. Like, give us a fucking Bears spaceship for real. We don't need the fucking columns. Just get I want the whole spaceship.
It blows my mind because it's just like, have you guys ever been to any other stadiums? It's like, I've been to a few.
Not, I guess.
Like Paul Brown's
I don't
outdoor
know.
stadium is better than ours in Cincinnati. And it's more comfortable. And it's more accessible.
Crazy.
Yeah, I've been to Gillette. It's better. I've been to MetLife. Better. Meadowlands was. I actually like the Meadowlands, but whatever.
Arrowhead, U.S. Bank, Indies, fucking
Even
Paul
old
Brown's.
Qualcomm was better.
Right?
The Buffalo Tail.
Nashville's is probably not better.
One that I will say was not better, and I never saw it for a football game. But I went to Candlestick. That place is a fucking dump. I saw the Giants play. I saw the Giants play a day game at Candlestick. I also saw them play at the new stadium, but like the old one was like, I mean, Jesus.
Well, the best old stadium in sports is Fenway.
Yeah, I'll never know, but I don't think so. RFK, best stadium I've been to. What? You're weird, bro. Like if there's a well done steak of stadiums, you're gonna find it. You know what I mean? Like it's like the best stadium I've ever been to was a ghost stadium of a team that died in a plane crash. It was amazing.
Leave it alone.
Yeah.
The state gets no hall pass, but we'll let him have his RFK.
Yeah, RFK. Okay.
On Memorial Day.
Memorial Day. What did he say? That's a man's stadium, no fluff. Yeah, I went there and I watched the Hogs.
Well, earlier he's talking about concrete bleachers. I'm like, my God, you really don't care about your ass at all between the burnt steak and the seating arrangement. Like,
yeah, like I mean, I think they even give you seat cushions at Lambeau now.
Oh, I can't even imagine sitting on a metal bleacher in freaking January up there.
They have they have bleachers, but I think you get a seat cushion.
I don't know if that helps in that kind of cold.
Nah. I mean, it doesn't.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys do anything special this weekend?
I threw some shit on the grill. Nothing really.
My brother was in town. We did a crossover pod with Cover One.
Oh. Did you?
No, but no, it was good seeing my nephew. We had a good weekend, man.
That's cool.
Yeah, my kids loved hanging out with their cousins, so it was a good time.
Smoked some birds on the big grill with the family. That was good.
Nice.
Busted out the big grill for the first time. I was happy.
Nice.
Think about coming out to Chicago, for that Bills game.
Oh yeah. Bowl?
Thinking about trying to convince my brother to come with me.
Mitchapalooza. He doesn't seem too stoked about any of that.
Yeah.
Preseason? Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know if I would. I don't know. I don't know if I would make a whole trip just for a preseason game, but
no, but the city too. It's not just the. He likes Chicago, so.
Sure, I could see that. But...
He's a Bulls fan. He likes the city, so we might head out that way. I'm not sure. I'm still looking at Steelers tickets too, Jerry.
Yeah,
still
you better. I can't believe you haven't bought yet.
Yeah.
Were you waiting for the right time to strike like a cobra?
Yep.
So you guys are all in on the Steelers game, huh?
I'm thinking about it.
See that cow that has a 7 on its head?
No.
There's like a cow that has like a white 7 like markings on its head. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Looks like, But then I found out his name is Baby Ben. And it's because he's like in Pennsylvania and they named him after Ben Roethlisberger. I was like, what the fuck?
He's gonna be a hamburger. He's gonna be a Roethlisberger.
It's a dairy cow, but yeah. I don't know. You got fucking all types of weird shit.
Stay away from that milk.
Yeah, for sure. No bueno. So shit's gonna pop. Get going at. I mean, supposedly the second part of that stadium news was that it should be at 100% by the time the season starts and training camps they're cleared. I have a feeling that the Bears are gonna, be like, oh, we really didn't have time to set up things for fans, because of the pandemic, and because I don't think they've figured out logistics. There's no place to park. Like,
you can't have Bragsy up there filming either.
Right. Well, this is not.
It's almost had to bust people in, right?
They'd have to do some remote parking. It's not like Bourbonnais where you can just be like, oh, park in that field. Like, fuck it. It's just a field. Like, there's forest preserves and, like, other corporations and shit right around there. Like it's kind of
The
wedged
money
in.
about to be made on parking there is about to be ridiculous. Even
Yeah.
more so.
So, so I'm sure they could find some solution, but I just have a feeling that they're going to be like, you know what, like that's just not what we're focusing on. Blah blah blah. Or I could be totally wrong, and they, they're like, let's cash in, and say sell tickets.
It'd be cool if they started doing tours of the facility. That'd be dope. Like in the off season.
Cool. Yeah, I think they might get to that point. I mean, that's another thing that, you could have at a big stadium. You could have a Bears museum. They could build a Bears museum actually it's like another thing.
Dude, like if you go, so Foxborough, when they got their deal done, they got their new stadium. They built this Patriot Place Museum. They have the shopping plaza around it with all different shit going on. Like, yeah, they could
that
do
shit
it
would be packed year round if the Bears could build something like that.
Yep, like huge concerts. Like it's insane.
If you could fix one thing about the Soldier Field setup right now, no questions asked, your fix, what would it be?
Only one?
Only one. You get it, and it's no questions asked, rubber stamped, it happens.
I think the easiest, most realistic one would be the field itself.
Turf.
Field turf.
Yeah.
Which wasn't as big of an issue. There were some instances last year, but yeah.
It's gotten better over time. It's not as big of a thing, but the problem is, and I've been worried about this, is now you have, the women's soccer team and the men's soccer team using Soldier Field, and they're doing, they do other shit there. I just worry about the condition of it. So that would be the easiest. But the other one that I would want is just more space around it. If they just didn't have, it's just so wedged in, and getting in and out is just such a bottleneck. Like the way you have to go around the field museum and then fucking snake through all this, all these paths and under viaducts and shit to get to Columbus, and it's just, it's just a pain. Like, I agree. It's fun when they won, and you're kind of like, oh yeah, it's like this caravan that, people kind of cruising out or whatever. But it's I don't know, like it's a slog, man.
What about you, Brian?
I mean, they can't really put the parking lots around there because it would ruin the whole area, especially when games aren't going on. So for me, I'd probably agree with AA if they were going to make one improvement. I mean, years ago, I wrote the Parks District asking them to put field turf in because it was so bad. We were doing slip counts back then.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, field turf would definitely be my top priority there. I mean, better seating would probably be second because AA is right. I mean, the seats are pretty beat up.
Oh yeah.
But they can't really do anything with capacity. Like when we went on the tour, there was a lot of space that wasn't used,
right,
for seating. Like they could have brought that up a little higher. Like, but yeah, field turf would be my number one priority.
Well, I just don't understand. Like, why didn't you put luxury boxes on both sides and then put another bank of seats above the luxury boxes on the other side? Like, that's what I don't get. Is like if you were just gonna put a big, basically cookie cutter round stadium inside the colonnade, why didn't you just do it? Like, they made this weird, like, swooping hunk of a stadium. It's like it wouldn't be the smallest stadium if it just was like every other bowl stadium.
Yeah,
like,
they built a stadium inside a stadium. They could have just expanded on what they could have just used
but that's all right. Like they did that, and that's okay. But just put a full stadium. Like the way that the Arcwood deck ends, and the way that they stack the fucking luxury box, it just makes no sense. Like if you just done a regular bowl stadium inside the colonnade, the existing thing, you'd be fine, and we wouldn't be the smallest stadium. Like, I mean, in theory, that could be done. You could put a retractable roof inside those columns if you wanted, and I guarantee you they could get the capacity up another 8,000. But I mean, it's just.
I think if you went retractable roof, you'd almost, because of the weather in Chicago, would instantly get the play turf, just because the ground.
Oh yeah, you'd have to. There's no room for the field to like drive itself outside in the summer, like some of these stadiums.
Or just own your own stadium and up your value.
Well, yes, there's that. I mean, let's be realistic. That the McCaskies don't own anything else. They don't have like some billion-dollar business besides the Bears. This is it.
Yeah.
So, you don't think they want to maximize that? I mean, come on. Yeah, Bears Disneyland out at a new stadium. It would be the shit. Yeah, it would be the shit.
Be cool with it.
Been reading that Q Factor by Brian Billick about finding a franchise quarterback, man. And really interesting read. It got into like the 2018 draft and like how like people were so high on Rosen. He was like a coach's wet dream on film with his mechanics, and a lot of hate for Josh Allen. It was just it's so tough to like. It really is tough to like come up with that franchise guy, man. Like we know, we live it, but it's wild what people think and then what actually transpires on the field. That's why I just can't. I can't wait to see this kid like go out there, man. Like,
well, and we talked about this before, but the trends drive things,
Like Chris Sims is on this, and we're getting kind of the way we did with what's his name there, Lombardi. With the Lombardi, like when he said Mitch with his freaking filings discount jerseys in a couple of years, like so like Sims says something negative, but Sims is pretty good at what his little quarterback predictions. So like I'm gonna wait and see. I'm not gonna everybody that has something to say against us, I'm not gonna jump on right now because we're in wait and see mode with this. But like
but I just think that was a dumb point. Like his point about his mechanics was just disproven really easily. Like
anything elongated, it gives the defender more time to react. So I understand what he's saying, but it doesn't mean that can't be corrected. So if your throw motion is a little longer than it should be, a pro defender can react, has more time to react on that.
They clocked his release. Like his release is elite. Like he doesn't have a long. It's not coming through in any kind of practical way. It looks a little different, like. So did Phillip Rivers. So did a lot of guys. Drew Brees' fucking throw looks funky as hell to me.
Right. If it's working, like Nagy said with Mitch, like mechanics aren't my concern until they're concerned.
Right. And Schofield said that also. I mean, fucking, I just think it's, and I said this before, but like it's hilarious to me that like, all this off-platform baseball, guys was like taboo 3-4 years ago, and now it's like everybody wants one.
Well, they did that video. Somebody like edited it, and like Sims is like, he's back here. Rogers never does that, and then they're like 10 pictures of Rogers doing that. So
it's just. I get it. Like I get the need for people to produce content, and Sims does a good job of staying. Everybody's talking about him. I mean, he's doing his job. He's stirring it up. He's fucking getting everybody talking about him and his hot takes, and so God bless him for that. That's the game.
This kid's wired.
I think he's wrong.
If he needs to correct it, he'll correct it. That's who we drafted. If it is an issue, he'll make it right.
I absolutely agree. He's smart enough.
I just don't think it's an issue. Like
it may not be at all.
Get the ball there, and I think he's going to. Like you look at his deep ball accuracy. I mean, come on. Like it's like the best.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited about Kmet this season too. I know I'm a Notre Dame homer and all that, but like I'm interested to see his second year because the rookie year is always tough for a tight end. Like I'm interested to see him where he's at.
Well, if he's that stud, he should start taking that jump this year.
Yeah.
If I just hope he is.
I'm just interested to see what I don't know what alignments they're going to be running. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like,
which offense will we see? Will we see the Mitchie half-field offense chopped up? Or?
No,
but
neither Dalton nor Fields did that shit. Like Fields is not running rollout half-field two. Yeah,
read. You're gonna of course give it to. You're not gonna give him all at once, but like even Fields running a half of this. What Nagy wants to do is going to be way better than anything we saw from Mitch.
Like but I agree. Like I don't think, but I don't think they need to dumb anything down. If anything, they're going to incorporate some of the stuff that Ryan Day was running with Fields,
Right.
and I hope that they make Dalton learn that. As I've said before, you can't. I hope they don't create an offense for Dalton and expect Fields to learn it. Like I hope that they just create an offense that works for Fields.
It's gonna be different. You can't.
But you can't have two offenses again. That was such a failure last year.
No, but you can install plays that work for Fields within that offense that don't
Right.
fall.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like, please just hope to God that they build it around Fields and make Dalton learn it, because Dalton has to learn it either way. So, all this like thing where Dalton's talking about, oh, we're gonna, I mean, that's fine. There's gonna be some plays Dalton likes and maybe some plays that are his plays, but don't fucking design the offense around him.
Let's not act like Fields can't run what Dalton can. You can't do that. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna add more plays that he can use his legs a little more. It's not gonna.
Right. And just for the sake of the offensive line, though, it was so obvious when they went to that, RPO spread stuff that Foles wanted to run and then tried to run into that. It was bad. The offensive line looked bad. They were constantly caught in between. They got no push, and nothing worked, And then when they start running, fucking high school, veer offense, like they're all moving in the same direction with a purpose, all of a sudden it looks good, right? Like, looks great. The offensive line is playing fantastic. I mean, playing against bad teams and running fucking glorified high school offense, but whatever. Whatever fucking works. All of a sudden, these guys look like they can play a little bit.
Right.
I mean, whatever they were running with Foles made the whole offensive line look like they couldn't play.
Well, you got a less mobile quarterback. It's easy to hit. I mean, Mitch was the factor in that. I give him that.
They were just getting no protection. I mean, Mitch would make his runs and whatever, but he was never able to he was very rarely able to effectively scramble to throw.
Yeah, he kind of sold out on. He gave that up.
Right, because he got hurt twice.
Yep, he wasn't about to. He wasn't about to lay it on the line for the team.
No, and why should he? I mean, he fucking got hurt 3 times. Doing that shit.
And a lot of the issue now too is you got at the college level you're expected to learn your technique, right, and get your fundamentals sound, because when you come into the NFL, these coaches are trying to get their game plan going, and they don't have 2-a-days anymore where they can focus it. Like, they have to kind of compress it all and throw it at you fast. So there's such a little prep time compared to what it used to be. Like, tackling technique has gone to shit in the NFL.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they don't
let them practice.
It's a real tough balance, exactly. But hopefully,
about the offensive line play too.
These offensive linemen needed. At least they're getting a somewhat normal offseason this year, because last year, it's like we were doing preseason shit halfway through the season. Trying to figure it out, trying to get guys going. They need to hopefully this year change stuff.
I think you finally have some positions settled along the offensive line. At least
the tackles are still up. Yeah,
the tackles are still up, but I think at right tackle you're kind of set with Ifedi for now.
I don't know about Daniel.
You're hoping that Borum comes out of it and takes that spot eventually, but it's going to be must for Daniels and Whitehair on the inside.
I think it is. I agree with you with Daniels, but Barrs played pretty well too. I think he's going to give a little competition at guard.
You're Notre Dame showing. You need to cover that up.
I'm not saying that, man. Barrs put more on tape than Daniels last year. I know it was injury, but
he got hurt. Prior to that,
if Daniels had been healthy all year, he would have put together a solid season.
You remember the hype in the preseason last year about Daniels? He came back stronger, bigger,
too bulked up. Maybe
he's 21. He's 22 now.
Yeah,
he's a kid.
Oh, sure. I like him a lot. I'm just saying, Barrs might push him a little bit there.
That's good. I hope they all push
I
each
mean, I
other.
hope he does push him. I don't see him taking his job. Like, I really think it's going to
No,
be
no, no. I don't.
It's going to be Jenkins and Cody at left, Musford at center, Daniels at right guard, and Ifedi at right tackle.
Hopefully, Mustafa bulks up just a little bit.
I mean, unless they don't switch, unless they don't switch. I mean,
man, Cody can play right tackle. You put Bars in at guard and Daniels. So I don't know.
I think Ifedi's the right tackle. He played more snaps than anybody else, and he played most of them at right tackle.
And he played well.
Yeah, well, Trubisky's is right. As long as they stop flopping Daniels from guard to center, needs to be. Yes, he's not going to be the center. Musford has that job.
Mustafa balled out, but Mustafa was the guy that balled out against that weak part of our schedule too.
He also played well against New Orleans when he got his first start.
He did, yes. I just think he's very smart.
I like him.
He's more vocal than Whitehair. Simgar, our boy Hefe says Notre Dame homer, and I think JD's job to lose. Yeah, Daniel's job to lose. Like, I don't see Bars as having taken that big of a step.
Oh, no, but like you said, I mean, you got to remember what Olin was saying about Daniels, too, at center. Like, he is young. He could still be their guy at center. We don't know.
But he just – I mean, Mustafa, everybody talks about how smart he is. He's got this field general aspect to him. He's making checks. Like, I think Cody is a fine center. Well, I don't know. He's actually a below-average center, let's be honest. Like, I think he's an above-average guard.
He used to piss us off sometimes with the snaps.
Yeah, like, I just think he's a below-average center. I think he's an above-average guard. It just is what it is. It's okay. Like, he's an average to below-average center. Like, it's just not a bad thing to say, but because he's an above-average guard.
Mustafa's not going to blow you off the ball. That's not his game. He's not going to bury you. He can stalemate you. It can move side to side and get in front of you and cause you to have to go around him.
Where Daniels
makes him good, which makes him good enough. And if he's got the line calls down, that's your center. And he snaps the ball with efficiency, and you don't have to fucking worry about it.
The more you hear the center's number called, that's a problem.
Yep.
Like, nobody ever. I mean, how many times do you see? Oh man, what a great block by the center! Oh crap! Like, the center is just always kind of helping. You know what I mean? Like, helping, getting the checks. Like, I mean, there's times where a center will make like a key block to spring somebody, but I always feel like the center is just kind of, doesn't really, it's not going to be the splashy plays for the offensive line. Like, it just isn't. Sammy the oil in the unit, no pause.
It really depends, though, too, because I think Daniels, like Jer said, Daniels can blow you off the line.
He can. And he's fast. He's fast enough to come across.
He didn't at center, though. He was like, it was rough. Like, he's too quiet.
Yeah, that was the other complaint about him. He's too quiet in the huddle and calling the line calls.
And maybe that's because Mitch is too passive. I mean, I think that's a bad combination. It was just a bad combination. You had a lot of soft players on the O-line. You have Mitch, who's too quiet and too, let's do this together, guys.
Now we got a rookie quarterback that's going to bring the dog out and everybody.
Well, yeah, because he's just a different dude. Like,
highly possible.
Like, that is the X factor. Like, I keep saying, he won't get the first team reps. But the X factor is himself. The X factor is the fact that when he gets in front of the vets, it's going to be just apparent that he's the alpha in the room, and that's going to be hard to.
There's a difference. There's a difference between playing for a guy that you have to fight for and playing with a guy that you want to fight for.
Yeah, hey, the guys supposedly liked Mitch too.
Yeah, but man,
but they liked him in like they fucking liked him like Rudy, bro. Like
they liked him in like a manufactured let's promote Mitch way.
Yeah, but they all had to like go and pat Mitchie on the back and tell him you're gonna learn this guy, you're the best. Like Khalil Mack giving him the little pep talks and shit. That's how they liked him. Surely, like he was a nice guy.
They didn't like him like Eddie Jackson liked him on draft night.
Yes, Justin Fields is going to walk in there and drop his balls, and it's just going to be like, okay, it's your team. It's already his team.
You see what Eddie's reaction? We finally got a fucking quarterback, basically, is what he said.
Right. Like, I guarantee you, when they signed Andy Dalton, everybody on the team was like, oh my fucking God. Like, can you imagine if you were on the Bears and you found out you signed Andy Dalton? You'd be like, fuck my life. Like, honestly,
maybe he's better than Mitch. I think that's where I would be at.
He's an upgrade to what we had last year.
But you're still sitting there if you're on the Bears going, fuck. Because there's nothing cool about signing Andy Dalton.
There's hope now.
Like, you get to know Andy Dalton, and he plays all right, and you're going to be Andy Dalton's boy, and eventually you're going to pull for him. But in that moment, when you know Mitch is leaving, you've had no fucking quarterback, basically, and then you sign Andy Dalton, if you're a Bears player, you're like, fuck this. Like, you're not hyped. And then they throw that QB1 tweet out, you're like, fuck this. But then they get Justin Fields, and it's like, okay, let's ride.
Yep.
Like, come on. There weren't any fucking tweets about when Andy Dalton signed. You see any Bears players like, let's go Red Rocket? Nope, it was crickets. Like, nobody was hyped about that shit. Like, nobody was like, let's work. Nobody gave any. Did anybody give Dalton any let's work tweets? I don't think so.
Do you want all that smoke?
Like,
Brian, you want me to get up and get that smoke?
Oh,
what,
you got
for the first time.
You're gonna show Andy Dalton a headlock again?
Yeah. No, for the first time, I've bought a rookie jersey.
Oh, so I can't do it yet. Not even from the knockoff shits.
As bad as I want to, I'm not doing it.
Well, you're not allowed to,
right?
Because you're the curse.
Yeah.
Like, A-Rob is probably the only one not happy about Fields because he's not happy about anything Trubisky is. I think he's happy in private, but I just think he acts like a surly fuck on socials. That's all. Like, I think he's cool. I think he's happy. I think he honestly wants an extension with the dude, but I don't think they're close, and I think he wants a bunch of money. And I don't think they're going to trade him or anything, but I just think, I don't think he's by nature an unhappy person. I just think he's, he just has in a weird place with the organization right now. And he's a bitch on Twitter.
If I were him, I'd be very grateful to my organization. I wouldn't be talking shit. I wouldn't be trying to stir shit up. I'd be like, hey, you gave me $18 million for a year in a market where $18 million wasn't going to happen. Thank you.
Yes, but you also have to think about that, like
1 year.
He feels it's 1 year, so he feels like it's $18 million, but I should have $60 million. Like the way that he looks at it is, it's like $42 million short. Like, it's not, oh my God, thank you, I made $18 million. It's like I should have $60 million guaranteed, and or more. And fucking, I only have 18 million. That's how he feels, and so I get that. You know what I mean? And every time he goes out there, there's a chance that it'll be his last game.
If the Jets give us Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, and a second-round pick, let's make the deal.
Yeah, I mean that's what would you trade A-Rob for Julio? Julio's cheaper.
Julio's good for his injury. I don't know. I don't know where he's at. Julio Jones, prime 30, Julio, yeah.
He's 33 or 32.
Well, that's a good question. If you can't have A-Rob for 3 years and you can only have him for 1 season, I'd give Julio a run.
Like, if you're the Falcons and you can sign A-Rob to an extension, I think you do that deal. I would. Right?
Right.
And the Bears would end up. I mean, I think let's say Julio has declined a little bit. He's still as good as A-Rob, if not better. Like, if he's declined. I mean, let's be honest. Julio puts up more stats than A-Rob, and even when he misses games. Like, Julio could miss 5 games and put up more stats than A-Rob.
Sure, Julio also hasn't played with shitty quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's
right.
It.
He had a great offensive coordinator, and he was playing next to the right Ridley brother.
Right. We got the wrong.
We got the fucking the bad Ridley.
He's a great route
runner. I mean, we can't discount A-Rob there because he has produced like the guy. Look at the list of the guys he's produced with. Imagine if you had a Matt Ryan.
Juju, no, bro, no. Hefe says Juju. We're not getting fucking Juju. Like Juju is a homeless man's A-Rob. No, Hefe, bad Hefe. No, like nobody wants Juju. The Bears are not fucking with Juju. Like, Juju's perfect for the Steelers. And, I mean, your boy Najee Harris, I got a feeling Najee Harris is going to blow up in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. He's right. Although the one thing that they had a problem with was their offensive line last year. It wasn't that great. So, and you got rid of Villanueva.
Running back like that kind of helps you a little bit.
I'm just saying. Perfect fit next year by a group. Juju? No. No Juju. Hopefully the Bears could draft Chris Olave, get Fields' boy.
He's pretty good.
He is pretty good. Although we'll see what happens because the Ohio State quarterback, unless somebody transfers there, which could happen, they got a rough. I mean, the fall off. That I can't remember the kid's name, but he's like young as hell.
Yeah, he's like a freshman.
Yeah, he's like a true freshman, or maybe it's like his first year off a red shirt. Like, it's rough. Like, the fall off is going to be rough. Somebody will trade there. Place all 3 wide receiver spots. He's really Juju. Like, Hefe, you're banging the Juju drum.
No, I'll take Devontae Adams free next year, I think.
Devontae Adams, in theory, yes, is free.
Yeah, I'll take Devontae.
Champ boys first. Yep. Yeah, you're probably right. Olave is probably might be the first receiver taken next year.
Yeah.
So we're not going to have that pick. Unless they tank.
And even then.
I don't think they're going to tank. I mean, like, if you start Dalton the whole year, it is probably a 7-win team.
We don't have a first-round pick next year anyway.
Right. That's true. Yeah, good point.
It's gone.
Fantastic point. But you could trade up. I mean, like, you could trade a second and next year's first for Olave.
I don't think that gets you in the top 10.
Well, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know who's going to get drafted next year, so I can't say. You think Olave's a top 10 pick?
If he's the number one receiver off the board, where did they go?
My God, we're talking next year's draft.
I mean, just for if you're throwing that name out there and he goes for first receivers, they went what 4th and 5th this year, or 5th and 6th? You know?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know if there's as many this up. I mean, I know there's always kind of a lot, but this year was kind of crazy with Waddle and all the other guys.
Good question from the chat.
Jamar Chase, huh?
Good question from the chat.
Paradigm Loyal. Trubisky says Roquan Smith, dark horse, defensive player of the year. Shot or no shot? Shout out David Kaplan. Take that.
Shot all day.
Oh God. Yeah, sure. I'd say shot.
If Goldman and Hicks do what they need to do up front, yes.
So PFF has Olave rated 1 going into next season, and Garrett Wilson from Ohio State rated 2.
Wow.
We're gonna find that out real quick. That some of those numbers are going to be a little skewed.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I could say I don't know if Roquan will get the right attention. I think it's a political defensive player of the year is a little political. So we'll see if he gets the right attention. I mean, he kicked ass this last year. He kicked ass this last year, and I think he played better than a lot of his the other linebackers, and he didn't get the recognition. Like he should have been. He should have gotten Pro Bowl.
I agree.
Over fucking, the guys that did. Like, it was like, I mean, Warner is good. Don't get me wrong. The kid from the Buccaneers is good, but White. But I mean, I think Roquan played his ass off. It's just his team wasn't very good.
He did.
If Roquan can create turnovers.
Yeah, that's just a difference.
And get him back into those blitzes, those linebacker blitzes where he was so deadly.
Yeah.
You need those big boys up front to keep people off of them.
And honestly, like I liked the thing that they did about Sean Desai and being Indian and all that. Like I thought that was cool, and I think that shit does matter to the guys on the team. I think that's something that they can rally around. Like I think they're gonna play hard for Desai.
I don't think that has anything to do with anything. I think that you like the person, you're gonna play well for them.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, but you know how it is. If you're, you might try a little harder for a certain type of dude, a coach that gets you motivated, somebody that maybe you feel like you have something in common with. Like, man, I think there might be a little extra juice coming out. It might be. I'm probably overrating that shit, but
like when Pagano coached from the sideline,
he's on the grass.
It's on the grass. Oh, never live that down.
On the grass.
It's on the fucking grass. So I don't know.
Whatever works, sure, yes. Hopefully it happens.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the fucking, you know how it is. The PR machine is working overtime. Like literally every fucking thing, just everybody spins out. What does it mean? What is this? What is that? Like, yeah, fucking this means this. This means that. I heard this. I heard that. Nobody knows shit.
Yeah, I'm just hoping. I think the adding Pettin into the mix. A guy that's been pretty good at dialing up pressure, a nice veteran presence there. I think that's huge.
A good steady hand. It's a good steady hand.
I hope Desai could just figure out how to get more consistent pressure again from our defense, because that was a problem.
Nope. Defense creates.
Well, and if Quinn was really hurt and he's actually healthy, I mean, that was a weird thing. Like somebody put up some stat about disruptions, and Quinn was like really high on there. I don't know. I saw him having such little impact, and when he did have impact, it was like negative. I mean, we've talked about this, but all the people that were Floyd lovers and were like Quinn's not going to be a good replacement for him were 100% right.
Well, what he does is he goes to the outside, and you just run underneath him.
Yeah.
He had disruptive plays, and but quarterbacks move now.
Or you throw behind him. You throw where he was.
Yeah, like all the stuff's useful. Like the film's useful, stats are useful, but you can't cherry pick just to prove a point. You have to look at it all. You have to look at even the stuff you don't want to hear. That's where even GMs get caught up. They cherry pick the shit they want to see. They don't look into the shit they don't want to see. You got to take it all in, not just he had this. Like the tape wasn't great on him.
Right, Hefe said reporting had drop foot. I guess, but like if that was the case,
you get drop foot. I mean, how? I mean, you just not have any tendons left in your, because it's where your foot just goes straight like this, like it's pushing the gas pedal. How the fuck do you not have?
I don't know. I just like I don't get how it would benefit them to hide that. Like, if anything, they would want to let everybody know. Like, yeah, you know what? Like, because the way it looked is he was a terrible signing. But if he's injured, it's like, oh, well, that happens. Like, so I don't buy this, like, he had an injury, but nobody knew about it thing. Like, I know I can believe it with
Khalil. They did it with Khalil the year before.
But Khalil's different because I don't think Khalil says shit to anybody. Like, I think everybody leaves Khalil the fuck alone in that building.
No, I'm sure the trainers know.
Yeah, but they not saying shit. Like, Khalil runs that shit. They're just like,
it's the same thing. They're not saying shit.
I think Quinn, if they knew he was hurt, they would have not have kept it a secret. They would have rather let it out and done something about it.
Especially with the money on the table.
This
Maybe.
year, I mean, we need Quinn to play better, but I think that Jeremy Atashu and you got
Hopefully Gibson
Travis
takes a big step.
Gibson and who else did they sign? No, they got the other. They drafted that Snowden kid.
I'm really interested to see him.
Right. So I think there's.
Let's do a little early over under. Really ridiculous. Right. How many sacks does Robert Quinn get this year?
I'm not
5.
I need to see how he looks.
I set the over under at 4.5, and I'll take the over at 5.
I was going to say around 6.5 is where I would be at.
I think it needs to be double digit just to make up for last year.
Yeah, but what's the over? The over under is.
I would set it at like 6. So I think 6 is the number.
So push.
To push. 5.5 to 6.
Yes.
I say 10. He needs 10 plus sacks.
10.5. No.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it.
I agree.
But
10.5.
I would take the under at 6. I don't trust him. Hand slapping shit.
I think if he's healthy, there's no excuse not to have double digit sacks.
The defense might be extra motivated if Fields is in there too. Like I think they'd be rejuvenated by that, especially if Fields.
If he's that dude.
Well.
I don't think this defense, if it's clicking on all cylinders, doesn't need motivation about who's on the other side of the ball. They're going out.
I think sometimes they do though. I think you've seen them lack heart and motivation at times, especially in the secondary.
I agree.
Like, I just think
18 wasn't like that. They didn't give a shit who was playing quarterback.
Here's what I'm going to say about Eddie Goldman.
Because they were scoring.
I'm going to say this about Eddie Goldman. The rules are not going to help him with the low blocks. He has a hard time fighting off of low blocks. We saw it in Oakland or Las Vegas or whatever.
Yeah.
Against the Raiders.
He's also had a year to shake that off.
Hopefully he's worked on it.
Yeah, or maybe he's had a year to get completely soft and lose his edge. You don't know what he's going to be. I mean, I know Bears fans don't want to hear this, but you do not know what he's going to be. And sorry, but we've talked about this before. He wasn't that great before he opted out. He's been great, but he was on the decline, and they had his ass figured out.
The cut blocks, like you said, he had a hard time fighting.
Yeah. England shook him. Yep.
Yeah, that changed him. And then other teams started doing that to him all the time. And he just couldn't fight off of it. So the new rules could really possibly hurt him. And I agree that Quinn needs to have people push the pocket. But he also collapses the pocket. He almost takes like a wide 9 and comes in. But the problem he does is he does the stupid hand slap and he tries to go the outside shoulder.
Yeah.
And when you got a guy like that, you just push him out. And you go underneath him. If he can't maintain his position, you just go under him.
We need our defensive front to clog shit up more.
Right.
Just need him to hold. Like Hicks needs to stay on the field more. Like if you can just keep consistency of Goldman on first and second down and playing well, and Hicks on first and second down. And then, you don't get into weird in between downs. I think it'd be all right.
Like we need the defensive front to make the pocket close quick and keep those dudes off our guys.
Right.
I
wouldn't mind seeing more Roquan blitz. I wouldn't mind seeing it.
I don't care where it comes from.
They just, they need to be in better position with regards to the down distance. Like I felt like last year they just didn't. They rarely had the these like pure pass rushing downs.
Well, that and they were telegraphed. mean, you could see it. It's like, oh, look, here comes Buster Screen off the edge again.
Right. It was just badly disguised. Like Pagano had no clue how to disguise anything, and Fangio was the master of that shit. They called him the mad scientist.
There just needs to be a tone set. There needs to be a tone set from every defensive player, especially Eddie. Like, get off your Hollywood bullshit, bro, and get back to what got you here.
Well, and that's the thing where I think you're gonna miss Kyle Fuller a little bit because he had the leadership in the secondary, and he's a guy that would make 2 or 3 game-changing plays a year, maybe more. How many badass hits did he have that change shit? Complete textbook hits. So I think they're gonna miss that. Hopefully Trufant can be something people are talking about. Bashad Breeland, he seems like a wild card. That Steven Nelson guy. I don't know. I don't think they're gonna add any more. I really don't. I think they're really close to the cap, and I don't think they're gonna add any more.
No,
unless they can talk somebody into taking Foles and save themselves a little bit of money, which isn't much. I don't know.
He could be. I think he's this year's Tyler Bray.
Maybe.
You got to have a guy.
What does that mean?
He's protected and he can't be picked up. And
right, you stash him. He's not active on game day.
Right.
Maybe 17 games. Somebody's gonna. Why not keep him and trade him later, I guess. I don't know.
I'm still curious if any of the COVID stuff will actually carry over from the the injured list and things of that nature. I'd like to see some of that kind of stick around.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially with their expanding the schedule, you need more roster spaces. You need more flexibility. It's just, the way that they do with that stuff is so ridiculous, especially when it used to be you could have 2 legitimate quarterbacks. Bray season, protect the asset, says Trubisky. Good Lord. Good Lord. So, anyway, we got anything else? Probably wrap it up.
Good to see some new names in the chat. It's always great to see that.
Yeah, what's up, Brandon L. Boog?
Like it.
Thanks for stopping by.
And our page on Twitter isn't a troll account. Just people get all up in their feelings. So chill.
Yeah, we're just gonna call you out because if you're stupid, that's all. I'm not trolling anybody. It's not trolling. If you do dumb shit, we might clown you for it.
It's a public service. Didn't we establish it as public service?
Right. Thank you.
One second, guys. I'm getting a text right now from my deep insider source.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, it's true. We've been gaining downloads quite rapidly, actually, with all this shit. So we're gonna keep on doing what we're doing. Hopefully, I know some people like it. We got our fans. We're not worried about fucking being like everybody else. Hey guys, let's talk about this. Come on.
I can see that Calabash Seafood sponsorship coming right now.
Making fake radio voices. Thank you for tuning in to Bears Chat. Let's talk about the cornerbacks today, guys.
I'd like to think we have a network and people are working very hard, and I thank you for tuning in. It means a lot and lots of hard work.
Yeah, exactly. Hello and welcome to Juice Time Podcast. Fuck out of here. Fucking so many fucking I can't even stand it. So many fucking podcasts. Most of them suck. You listen to us right now and think we suck. I don't fucking care.
But we don't care.
I know some of y'all suck. Anyway, I'm pretty known in chat rooms as Chubbs, though. I don't know what that means. Pause, triple pause. I don't know. Nobody knows what that meant. So yeah, thanks for listening. Shout out to the haters. You keep us strong.
Yeah, True Biscuits. I'll come down there and eat some Calabash clams. You know what I'm saying?
I'm eat Quinn when I eat clams. What the fuck is calabash clams, son?
Calabash seafood, dog.
He's about that clam life.
What is that? Clam strips?
Is this some sort of weird back channel
Or
talk
is
that
it
I'm not aware of?
baked clams? Is it clam strips? Fried
No, it'd be
clams?
fried clams. Yeah.
It's not like steamers, right? Is it steamers?
I like steamers too, though. But no, it's not. It'd be fried clams down there.
Okay, so it's clam strips.
Yeah, or whole belly fried.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. But it's not like in the shell.
No.
Okay, because I don't think Trubisky should deal with that at all.
I like steamers, though.
Yeah. I
don't like mussels. I like steamers.
fucking linguine with clam sauce. Hell yeah.
Oh, garlicky as hell.
White wine clam sauce. Oh, shit.
Lots of
you go
garlic.
to a place here in Chicago called La Scarola. Get that fucking clam sauce, white wine clam sauce linguine.
Dude.
Oh, snap.
We got this place called Paul's Pasta. They make their own pasta there, and they do a linguine and clam sauce that will stink a house up with garlic. Like, it's banging.
Yeah, like the fucking amatriciana style.
Delicious.
They have that kind, like it's got the fucking pork jowls and shit in it. You ever have that one?
No, not all that. No.
Oh, okay.
It's just clams and
It's like
a
spicy,
light red sauce.
spicy. Or like the fucking, what is it? The fucking puttanesca. You know about that shit? Do you know about pasta puttanesca? You know why that shit exists? Never asked for clam sauce in Myrtle Beach. That's true.
Man.
Don't order the pasta puttanesca you know what the story of pasta puttanesca is?
I don't even fuck around with Italian food down south.
So the story is that the puttanesca is like a tomato, olive, super garlicky, capers. Like it's a dank tomato sauce. So back in the day in Italy, all the fucking workers, the dock workers, would come home and they'd walk past all the whorehouses, and in order to entice them to come in, they would cook pasta, and they would try to make the sauce as pungent and as stank and strong smelling as possible, like so it would smell the best, so they'd put olives and anchovies and capers and garlic and fucking spicy shit out the ass, and that's what it's called pasta puttanesca, the puttana, the whore, the whore pasta.
You're talking dirty now.
That's what that shit is like.
Let's wrap it up, boys. That's good.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Hefe says he knows girls that make their own clam sauce.
Now, if there's a lot of news,
Holler.
I mean, if there's a lot of news, maybe we'll wait till next Monday. But maybe me and Jared do a little dog and pony Thursday. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Biscuit says, Hefe, I would advise not talking to that girl. Stay 10 feet away, my brother. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. All the haters that also tuned in to hear us possibly talk about you. Some got your wish. Some didn't. Maybe next week.
Till the next episode.
Or till you make the next dumbass tweet. I'll be coming for you. Unfollow me.
Honestly, though, I'm getting to the point like, why do we give a shit? But whatever.
Because it's fucking hilarious, and there's so much stupidity, bro. I muted him. I didn't want to find it. I wasn't out there looking for his ass. It just came to me like
lift as you climb, right?
You're gonna put that shit on a tee. You're gonna put it on a tee. I'm gonna hit it. Lift as you climb. Anyway. Thanks for listening. It's just another episode of The Tailgate Show.
The virus.
The stank never lies.
The puttanesca.
That good clam sauce.
Draft AA voice. I don't know what that means. All right, peace.
Later.
Later.